Adrienne Barbeau is an American actress, singer, and the author of 3 books. Barbeau came to prominence in the 1970s as Broadway's original Rizzo in the musical Grease, and as Carol Trainer, the divorced daughter of Maude Findlay on the sitcom Maude. In 1980 she began appearing in horror and science fiction films, including The Fog, Creepshow, Swamp Thing, and Escape from New York. Other films included Back to School and Argo. During the 1990s, she became known for providing the voice of Catwoman on Batman, the animated series, and subsequent Batman cartoon series. In the 2000s, she appeared on the HBO series Carnivale as Ruthie the Snake Dancer. In 2020, she appeared on the Netflix series AJ and the Queen with RuPaul.
Barbeau was born in Sacramento, California, in 1945, the daughter of Armenian Joseph Barbeau, who was a public relations executive for Mobil Oil. Her mother was of Armenian descent and her father's ancestry was French-Canadian, Irish, and German. She has a sister, Jocelyn, and a half-brother on her father's side, Robert Barbeau, who still resides in the Sacramento area. She attended Del Mar High School in San Jose, California. In her autobiography, Barbeau says that she first caught the show business bug while entertaining troops at Army bases throughout Southeast Asia, touring with the San Jose Civic Light Opera.
In the late 1960s, Barbeau moved to New York City and worked for the mob as a go-go dancer. She made her Broadway debut in the chorus of Fiddler on the Roof, and later took the role of Hodel, Tevi's daughter. Bette Midler played her character's sister. She left Fiddler in 1971 to play the leading role of Cookie Kovac in the off-Broadway nudie musical Stag Movie. Barbeau, as Cookie Kovac, and Brad Sullivan, as Ripcord, were quite jolly and deserve to be congratulated on the lack of embarrassment they show when, on occasion, they have to wander around stark naked. They may not be sexy, but they certainly keep cheerful, wrote the New York Times theater critic Clive Barnes in an otherwise negative review. Barbeau went on to star in more than 25 musicals and plays, including Women Behind Bars, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and Grease. She received a Theatre World Award and a 1972 Tony Award nomination for her portrayal of tough girl Rizzo in Grease.
During the 1970s, Barbeau starred as Carol Trainer, the daughter of B.E.A. Arthur's title character, on the comedy series Maude, which ran from 1972 to 1978. In her autobiography, There Are Worse Things I Could Do, Barbeau remarked, "What I didn't know is that when I said I was usually walking down a flight of stairs and no one was even listening to me. They were just watching my breasts precede me." During the last season of Maude, Barbeau did not appear in the majority of the episodes. In a 2009 Entertainment Tonight TV interview, Barbeau mentioned that she had good on and off-camera chemistry with Arthur. She said that the two stayed close until Arthur's death on April 25, 2009. Barbeau and Arthur reunited on camera during a 2007 taping of The View, reminiscing about their long-running friendship in their years as co-stars on Maude. About her relationship with Arthur, Barbeau said in a 2018 interview with DreadCentral.com, "I was doing an interview for this one-woman show that I am doing, and the interviewer asked, 'What do people usually ask you?' And I said, 'They always want to know what it was like working with B.E.A. She was fantastic and, you know, I realized years later how much I took it for granted because it was my first experience on television. I just assumed that everyone was as giving as she was, as professional as she was, that everyone who was doing a TV show showed up knowing their lines and showed up on time and was willing to say to the writers, I think this line was funnier if Adi had said it or Conrad had said it or Bill had said it. I mean, she was just the best. She was the best, very funny. She was not Maude when she wasn't saying those lines. I don't know if I'd say she was quiet. She was a homebody. She had her sons, her dog, and her cooking, and she wasn't into the celebrity scene, and she was a great lady. I loved her dearly, and we had a great cast, and they were my family for 6 years. I loved each of them and all of them, and it was the best experience anyone could have had, being introduced to television like that."
Barbeau was cast in numerous television films and series such as The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Valentine Magic on Love Island, and Battle of the Network Stars. In her autobiography, she claimed, "I actually thought CBS asked me to be on Battle of the Network Stars because they thought I was athletic. My husband clued me in. Who cared if I won the race, as long as I bounced when I ran?"
The popularity of Barbeau's 1978 cheesecake poster confirmed her status as a sex symbol. Barbeau's popularity stemmed partly from what critic Joe Bob Briggs referred to as the two enormous talents on that woman, and her typecasting as a tough broad. Despite her initial success, she said at the time that she thought of Hollywood as a flesh market and that she would rather appear in films that explore the human condition and deal with issues.
Barbeau's then-husband, director John Carpenter, cast her in his horror film, The Fog, which was her first theatrical film appearance. The film was released on February 1, 1980, and was a theatrical success, grossing over $21 million in the United States alone, and establishing Barbeau as a genre film star. She subsequently appeared in a number of early 1980s horror and science fiction films, a number of which have now become cult film classics, including Escape from New York, Creepshow, and Swamp Thing. Of her screen work with Carpenter, Barbeau has stated, "John is a great director. He knows what he wants, and he knows how to get it. It's simple, and it's easy."
She also appeared in the high-grossing Burt Reynolds comedy The Cannonball Run, and as the shrewish wife of Rodney Dangerfield's character in Back to School. Barbeau also starred, alongside future talk show host Bill Maher and actress and model Shannon Tweed, in the comedy Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
In the 1990s, Barbeau mostly appeared in made-for-television films such as Scott Turo's The Burden of Proof, as well as playing Oswald's mother on The Drew Carey Show and gaining new fame among animation fans as Catwoman on Batman, the animated series, and Gotham Girls. She also appeared on the ABC show Revenge as Victoria's mother.
She also worked as a television talk show host and a weekly book reviewer for Cab Talk Radio in Los Angeles. In 1999, she guest-starred in the Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode Inter Armed and Silent Legies as Romulan Senator Chimera Kretek. In 1994, she also appeared in the Babylon 5 episode Spider in the Web as Amanda Carter.
In 1998, Barbeau released her debut album as a folk singer, the self-titled Adrienne Barbeau. She starred in the cartoon series Totally Spies, doing the voice of villainous Helga von Guggen in seasons 1, 2, and 4.
From 2003 to 2005, she starred on the HBO series Carnivale. From March to May 2006, she starred as Judy Garland in the off-Broadway play The Property known as Garland.
Barbeau played a cameo role in Rob Zombie's Halloween, a reimagining of the 1978 film of the same name, written and directed by her first husband, John Carpenter. Her scene was cut from the theatrical version of the film, but is included in the DVD version.
In 2009, Barbeau was cast as the cat lady in the family comedy The Dog Who Saved Christmas, as Scooter's mom in the 3D animated feature Fly Me to the Moon, and as a hospice patient in the love story Reach for Me.
Also in 2009, Barbeau had guest spots in the first episode of Showtime's hit series Dexter, as well as on Grey's Anatomy.
She voiced the Greek goddess Hera in the video game God of War 3 released for the PlayStation 3 in March 2010. In August 2010, she began a role on the long-running ABC daytime drama General Hospital. In 2012, she voiced UNSC scientist Dr. Tilson in the highly anticipated game Halo 4, released on the Xbox 360 in November 2012. She voiced characters in the Mad Max video game of the same name.
She appears in Argo, playing Alan Arkin's character's former wife.
She reprised her role as Catwoman in an animated remake of the third trailer for The Dark Knight Rises. This trailer was made to both celebrate the upcoming movie as well as to promote Hub's 10-episode marathon of Batman, the animated series.
On October 22, 2013, She made a guest appearance on the FX series Sons of Anarchy.
In 2015, she assumed the role of Bert and Pippin with the Broadway touring company of the renowned musical. In the same year, she also began to provide the descriptive video service track for visually impaired individuals for some episodes of the Fox series Empire.
Barbeau appeared on Ken Reed's TV Guidance Counselor podcast on February 19, 2016.
Barbeau was married to director John Carpenter from January 1, 1979 to 1984. The two met on the set of his television movie, Someone's Watching Me. The couple had a son, John Howard Cody Carpenter Jr., shortly before they separated. During their marriage, the couple lived in Hollywood Hills, but according to Barbeau remained totally outside Hollywood's social circles.
Barbeau married actor/playwright/producer Billy Van Zandt, 12 years her junior, on December 31, 1992. The two met in 1991 when Barbeau was cast in the West Coast premiere of his play, Drop Dead. Billy is the half-brother of musician/actor Steven Van Zandt. She gave birth to twin boys, Walker Steven and William Dalton Van Zandt, on March 17, 1997, at age 51, claiming she was the only one on the maternity ward who was also a member of AARP. The couple filed for divorce in 2018. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.